Hello guys, so in today's video I would like to show you how to reach Conqueror rank the most easiest and probably efficient way as well, basically following the current meta. It's not like that you will be a meta slave doing one build order all the time. It's more about like playing a civilization certain way but doing very small changes depending on the matchup and depending on what is your opponent doing, but we are still playing the same opening. And yeah, I think you will see yourself how easy it actually can be if you are just doing correct decisions. You don't need to have 150, 200, 250 APM. You just need to have a plan once entering the game. We will be playing Ottomans in every single game. I think I will show either 3, 4, maybe 5 examples of the games where players are doing playing certain way. There will be like passive way, booming way, fast castling into fast knights, which is very present. There will be some sort of dark age aggression. There will be feudal age aggression. Into transition into fast castle against me, and I will show you how easy it is if you have the initial first 5 to 6 minutes very well played, very good opening, how easy it is to deal with any of these scenarios. We'll start with this game. This guy has hidden elo of 1750 if I remember correctly. He's playing Golden Horde, and this game, let's call it, let me open the word here, and we will call this opponent plays passively, which is something you basically should never do against Ottomans. But you know, you have certain civilizations, you have certain players with certain playstyle. Maybe they will make a decision based on the map spawn as well, so it is possible that this is still gonna happen against you as Ottoman. And honestly, you should be very happy for this to happen. So let's start with the game. Okay, so here we are in the game. Because it's first game, I would like to speak more about the build order itself. The opening is quite easy in compared to maybe different civilization. One villager goes to the stone, one villager goes to the gold. Yeah. Okay. This is probably the worst possible. I don't remember this game. It's like, you know, seven days ago. I mistakenly double clicked the villagers, but the opening, the opening is one villager to the gold, one villager to the stone, two villagers to the struggle tree. You can shift click them to go one struggle tree, second struggle tree, and all the remaining villagers for a very long time will be moving onto the food source. Here, only thing which is important, similar for example to the Byzantines, you want to plan when you don't want to make a cistern. Probably here it would be here, because if we are playing Byzantines, there are villages on the sheep, there are like 3 villages on the stone and 1 villager on the gold. So cistern here touching all of this, second one touching the gold as well, yada. Something similar we have here with the Ottomans, right? We want to make some plan about base building. And again, here is the issue. It's like 7 days ago. I don't remember when exactly I made the military schools, but it's good to know to have a plan. Why house here? Because usually if you are making military schools, it looks like this. Here is blacksmith. There are the military schools closest, you know, to the TC as possible, so they are basically safe, so they are not outside of the range, easily to be burned down. And there should be still a space for the age up, for the Castle Age landmark. And in the future, are just adding the buildings like here, either additional military schools or stables, archer ranges, barracks, it depends. You can still rolling on the foot. There is nothing really in-depth to talk about. Maybe, yeah, don't forget to shit click the bills. And what you can do, you can also prepare the villages for the age up. Usually, I'm age up with 4 to 5 villagers, depending on the situation, but I would advise to go, for example, with the 5 all the time. The moment we have resources for the military school, 150, 100, you can make a military school. And it honestly does not matter if you make it with the wood villager or if you, sometimes I really like to do it with this one villager. In 7 seconds, we get the villager. What you can do, you can hold the shift, you can place down foundation of the military school, and then you can just, you know, you can like tell the villager to keep doing what is he doing, basically cancel the shift click, right? And he will send the newly produced villager to make a military school. So doing it this way, he jumps out of the TC and he immediately starts building the military school, and you don't need to go here and then go back, yada yada. So this is quite good. But what's important about base building with Ottomans? Important is that you never want to make the feudal age landmark, which we are gonna build in like 1 minute, close to the berries. Not here, not here if this wasn't there, because otherwise they are gathering the berries, and once, you know, they will finish one berry bush, they are moving to another, and suddenly they're like, oh, there are some berry bushes closer. So let's move on to them instead of getting, you know, the very, very strong berry bushes, because take a look here, 50% faster. So that's very, very, very good in compared to normal berries. That's like almost double the amount. So, yeah, where to make a landmark in this case? You can see that I'm making military school here. Another spot will be here very soon, because there is only 38 wood left on this tree, right? So there will be decent spot for additional one. There will be the blacksmith, and there will be the additional buildings. And very decent spawn for landmark is here. Of course, I would prefer to make it at the back. So for example, if these berries were here, I would make it, let's say I would make the military school here and here, and I would do the same way I'm doing here. I would just do it there. So there will be the future castle age landmark, and you know, the feudal age landmark would be like here, let's say. So yeah, this is it. Still just rallying to the food. Don't forget to shift click this guy. This guy went from a wood, so I'm shift clicking him back to the wood. And at the same time, of course, what do you usually want to do depending on the matchup? Again, if it's Mongols, you want to scout earlier. If it's English, you want to scout earlier. If it's Japanese, you want to scout earlier. These three civilizations, most importantly, because of the possible Dark Age aggression. Here we are facing Golden Horde, which is still quite a new civilization. I really don't know what to expect from them. It can various. I really choose the worst video for this for as the first one, because I have like 5 on it, which I want to show to you guys. Yeah, here I realized, oh, I don't want to age up here, so yeah, I'm going back. Okay, now I remember the situation now. Yeah, so here no threat of Dark Age aggression, so I really didn't had to scout my opponent earlier. Here I just scouted some, you know, surroundings. I saw back gold. Here I saw back deers, another back gold, you know. I know that his mob spawn is basically goated, so I'm like, okay, probably he will play a little bit more greedy because of it, but you never know. Here, what's the situation after we have resources for the age up? This is very important. You can see we still have the same amount of villagers on the stone, and honestly you can even leave one villager on the gold. Either to have 1 or 2 does not matter. What really matters right now is to stay with 1 villager on the stone. He will be there until forever, and we will try to send as many villagers as possible to the wood. So here we can see I've only 3 on the wood. Honestly, what I maybe could do here is to send even these 3 villagers to get the wood, add another villager into the queue, and rally all of them onto the food. So I would have like 0, 10 to 1. But it's a small detail. But right now we need a lot of the wood. Why? Additional military school, the moment we age up, we will have 100 stone. So we want to have 150 wood. Additional 90 wood for a blacksmith. And then it depends, but most of the time what I'm going for is double stables, so 180, and barracks. Barracks because you don't want to have Dark Age spearmen until forever, right? And stables for Sipahi. I will show you a little bit later as the game will go. Why is the spearman here and not going forward to burn down the Uvu? Because here again, if I knew that my opponent is Malian, I would try to be annoying on his on his speed mine. I know that my opponent is not Malian and he is Golden Horde, and I know that very early in the game he's gonna have some sort of cavalry, you know, and it depends if it's gonna be the, I still don't know how these guys are called. If it's gonna be this Batukan, or if it's gonna be Torguts, if it's gonna be Keshiks also. If I send Dark Age Spearman here, or maybe even 2, they would just die for free there, right? So that's it. Here, the moment of the age up, you can see exactly as I told, immediately second military school. And what's also quite good is that you can send immediately all the villagers who were building the landmark to start getting the berries from the landmark itself. Sometimes I have found that villagers are idle for some time, so I recommend you more to like send 4 and not 5 on this landmark. I don't know why it is. It's not even because of the upgrades that they would be gathering faster. I just don't know, honestly. Sometimes I feel like the berry bushes are not spawning correctly, like every 120 seconds, but sometimes it just takes longer or something. Okay, here you can see barracks, exactly as I told, and still I'm getting quite a lot of the wood to make a stables in the future as well. And all the remaining villagers are still on the sheep. Yes, there are the stables here to get this upgrade. And what's important for me right now is to realize what is my opponent doing. I want to be here. I'm trying to burn out this, because if there will be some units heading my way, they will very well likely go across my scout, right? So I will be able to see them. Here I see the Batukan, so I'm like, okay, I have the spears kind of prepared, and I can do whatever I want to. You can see that I have started to shift a villagers a little bit, and this is the fast castling setup, which I try to tell you, like every one of you. If you plan to go fast castle, there is a word fast before the word castle for a reason. You want to be in castle as soon as possible, basically, to get advantage from that fast castle. Here I'm getting advantage from the military schools. I've decided to make a stables. Why? Because I immediately want to get the value from the stables. AK, make some units and try to, do some harassment to my opponent, so he doesn't feel like he can do whatever he wants to, because I have only 3 spearmen in my base and he can be everywhere. But you can see that I've moved a little bit more villagers to the gold. Right now it's 5, maybe it's gonna be 6. Yes, now it's 6. 17 for 6. This is very good castle age setup. So I know that very soon I will have enough resources to go into the castle age. You can see very close. In like 1 minute we have the resources. I've moved this guy from the stone. You might be asking why. You told us previously that he can be there forever. Here I was scared that he's gonna add 2 Keshiks, 2 Torguts, whatever into the comp, and suddenly I don't have enough spearmen to secure the gold and the stone at the same time. So I just left the stone so this villager doesn't die, for free. And all my spearmen are here, and I'm just, playing quite passively. And with the 2 Sipahis, which I produced, 3 Sipahis, which I produced from the 2 stables, I want to try to do something. So now, again, I'm moving forward. You might be wondering why you went here and then you are going back, because here he was there with the scout and there was a falcon over the base. I wanted to avoid, like him seeing myself the moment I leave the base. And here I'm like, again, oh shit, like, bro, what are the changes that you are here at the first and now you are there again? I try to, avoid him so he cannot see me, so I can get some value from the units. Here I'm maging up. I fuck up the base building a little bit, as I can see. So I need to make it here. I cannot make it there. Yeah, as I told you, the best video to start with. Now I have sent 3 additional villages to the stone, and that's it. So I have 100, or it's not like 100, but more like 200 stone. Not necessarily the moment of the age, but slightly after that point. Why 200? Because 1 extra military school for being in Castle Age and 1 extra military school for this vizier point. Where to get which vizier points? Honestly, if you feel you are playing against civilization which really like to pick relics, this one thumbs up. Ayubits, HRE, OTD, maybe Japanese. If you feel you are under pressure and your food sources aren't on good location, keep in mind these deers, they can be here, but they can be here as well, or they can be, literally in the corner right behind your base. So, but here it's definitely way more difficult, right? So in such cases, this thumbs up. Plus 15% mining speed, pretty decent. If you get this one, I would recommend to get this one if you feel you will be playing against fast castling safe into very fast knights. Japanese, Macedonians are, I think, the 2 most obvious examples. Because you want to have your food sources in the safe location where you can easily cover the villages. And then you don't need to leave your base. If you go with this vizier point, you don't need to leave your base for a very, very long time. For at least 15 minutes minimum. Like from here, you need to, let's say, move here or elsewhere. What's important here, I made these units, I want to use them. Here you can see, I really doubt if he didn't scout in these two stables that he would, commit into making so many defenses. Palisade wall here, palisade wall here, there. Plus, on top of it, he made barracks because he might thought at some point, oh shit, he's gonna go all in on me. Honestly, it would be very, very risky for me to do so because, as I told you, denying some, it's more about denying crucial resources than about like making 5 rams and ending the game. That's just not how the game works on a high elo, because the investment you need to make into siege engineering, into the rams, and the time building of the rams is just too long. So here, basically the Sipai already paid for themselves, although I didn't do anything. I forced them to stay back with these units, I forced them to have a lot of the idle time by building this, plus the resources, right? Here is the age up. I have age up. I'm very, very happy because I age up before my opponent, which with Ottomans is very, very nice all the time. And good thing with the Ottomans is that you immediately start getting the value from the age up. Why? Because military schools, the speed, how they produce the units depends on the age in which you are. Plus, right now, from now on, I'm getting free siege. I really, really, really like to get the Springles out. Not Mangonels, but Springles. Why? You will see it very, very, very soon. The moment of the age up, what do you want to do? Again, try to focus on villager split and why we are doing it this way. 17 on the food, 4 for the villagers, and 13 for additional army production. In this case, it's the knights. Why 9 on the gold? Because we are processing the knights. If there will be some extra gold, we can all the time use it here, 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 potentially here, and here. Right? So no problem. Completely fine. 6 on the wood. Why? In the close future, in 30 seconds, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, what do I want to build? I want to build this, right? And now I'm building the third one, but very soon I will be able to make a fourth one. So I need 150 wood here. I need 200 wood here. And as the time goes, I will need a house. Then I will definitely need this. That's additional wood. This is wood as well. This is wood as well. So if you have this split of the villagers, and it's not necessarily only with the Ottomans, maybe if it wouldn't be Ottomans, these guys could be elsewhere. But that's it. But then you have civilizations where you can use free villages on the stone pretty well as well, honestly. I don't know, Byzantines, if you don't have the cisterns yet, or if you just want to make Mongolian emplacements, on some crazy spots. So, yes, there are still some situations when you can use them. So, the moment of the age up, what are we doing? We are still getting the spears for the free. Don't forget this. Right now, I don't need it. If I knew that my opponent is spamming redirects in Castle Age already, and so I would really try to speed up this upgrade. I would, cancel one knight from the queue and I would make this upgrade. But knights, why are knights that good right now? Is because they will give you my present. They have the mobility and they are, they are like tanks, right? Medieval tanks. So right now the game turns into some sort of relic hunt the moment he ages up. Who gets more relics into the Castle Age has, benefit as the game goes further and further. So here I'm just still playing defensively, because why? Because I've realized that my opponent is playing very passively because he can afford it, right? Food, gold, plus it's golden horde. Honestly, their food transition is one of the best in the game. So there is really nothing I can harass. But finally, what I've managed to do, I've sent one unit one way and another unit second way. So at least, I'm trying, I'm forcing him to stay elsewhere with units, and behind it, I'm still producing the same army composition as previously, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the only difference right now, as you can see, is that I have switched the military schools onto the Sipahi. And here it again depends. This is up to you completely. You can just, switch the buttons. It depends on what is happening here. here I probably expected my opponent to react to mass knights, which usually is spears and crossbow combination. That word is very important. By the way, here I saw his army with my scout, so I knew that it's mostly archers, and it was like, okay, very interesting. So I knew I can kind of chill, because right now I know that my army can beat his army. So that's very good, and at the same time I am printing units. Here I am with the army. It's not random that I'm here with my army, because where do I have exposed villagers? Here, although there is at least the outpost right now, right? Here, and that's about it. These guys are here if some Torguts or Kesheks went around, and all the remaining eco is basically secured. Maybe he could, go over here, but I still have some time to react, and there are my units coming forward, so it would be very bad timing for me to lose some villages here, right? So it's not random that my army is right there. And here, I'm just waiting. Why? Because I can. Because I saw his army, I know what is he doing, I know he's not like on 3 TCs, and I know I'm not a timer. And I can chill. Why? Because these buildings, plus this one, they are winning a game for me, basically for free, right now. You can see I'm making ton of a Sipahi. Again, why? Because I expected crossbows, maybe some siege, a lot of the range units in general. And the Sipahi, they can tank shit of the damage from the crossbowmen. And from the archers, of course, as well. Yeah, let me speed it up this a bit. And of course, on top of it, I'm also getting the vizier points, right? So I can use them to my advantage and get the value from them. Here, I use Janissary Company because I was like, okay, let's end up the game right now. I don't want to drag out this game for like another 15 minutes. So I will, right now, I have very good range support as well, in case that he will be spamming a lot of the knights, a lot of the Torguts, or any sort of horseman. Keep checks maybe. Against all of these units, Janissaries are very good. If you feel you cannot end the game right now and the game will go on and on, I would recommend you to get this one instead. Or maybe in some cases this one is underrated as well, and you will see me also going this one. Not as the third one, but as the second one. But we will talk about it in the future games. Behind this, of course, I'm rolling on the wood for quite some time already right now. Why? Because you can use the wood for so many purposes right now. I have enough on food and gold for, just enough to sustain the production of the units I want to be producing. And behind it, I'm sending villagers to get me wood. Why? Funnel, there is a wheelbarrow, 15-minute wheelbarrow. Why? Exactly, so I can spend it on this. I had to spend it on the mosque. And with Ottomans, honestly, you need to build houses quite often, because this stuff just takes a lot of the pop space. Okay, so here I was like, okay, let's go. Let's try to end the game here. Never forget Mector. What I recommend you, as the game, is still in this quite early stage, you can just make it from the stables. As the game goes longer and longer, I would recommend you to switch one military school for a Mector. So you are kind of guaranteed that you will have a Mector in every single fight you will take in the future. Okay, this is just one Keshik. So let me speed up this, and this will basically be the first and only fight happening in this game, if I'm not mistaken. And here's the thing. You can see I've stopped the production. Why? Because usually, especially if you take this vizier point, you can take such a good fight at this point in the game that which can, in worst case, this fight can end 50-50. aka your opponent will lose entire army and you will lose entire army. What is the difference here is that you are still getting the 3 units behind it, right? But if this battle goes 50-50, you usually have enough resources or time to, for example, either add a second TC or age up, which is very important. I would advise you to stay on the same macro you were previously, so you can age up. Because age up with Ottomans is very good, because the payback time is very fast. Plus 100% production. So suddenly these military schools are printing like crazy. That's one thing. And secondly, if you have the Janissary mass, which honestly you should have around this point in the game and in the next 5 minutes. Why? Because what's specific about 20-minute mark is usually you start running low on the food sources. Here it's a little bit different because I took this vizier point, right? And that's 2000 food if I'm not mistaken. It's cheap 2000, right? Yes, very good. So if the sheep wasn't there, you can, for example, cancel these berry bushes completely. So they are not here, and my food sources are here, and few bushes there, and that's it. But what's good about the Janissaries is that they are very cheap. They cost you 60 food and they cost you 100 gold. What's good about gold is you are not spending it on the siege. At this point, usually you are not spending it on the Knight's Nadir, and you are getting some from the gold. And also, gold mines on the map are still, in most of the cases, very close to your base. Maybe one exception are sunken lands when you have where you have limited amount of gold, but usually, still pretty close, easily reachable. And of course, they are also very good at countering literally everything in Ghastly Age. They are killing men-at-arms effectively, spearmen effectively, horsemen, knights, horse archers, everything. Camels, doesn't matter, everything. So they are very effective. And the thing with the age up into the Imperial Age is that the elite upgrades for Janissaries are lowered by a half. So if you have the Janissary mass and you, for example, only, because they are the range units, only the Janissary mass survives, you can go back with them and you can get their elite status for a very cheap price. Here is the fight. This is also another thing which is very good with this push. People, if they are defending, they usually want to do this with their army. Okay, use the buildings to some sort of defensive advantage. The thing is here, because we have the springles, you can see the only thing I am microing in this fight are the springles. Everything else is on the aim, honestly, and you can see I'm moving the springles here. Why? I was moving them from like here to here, so I have better angle on these units. And if you are targeting with the springles, I don't know if you can see it. We probably can't, maybe a little bit later. If you are microing with the springlets, you want to target some unit in the distance. So for example, now let's say this archer. So the springles are shooting, yes, and they are damaging as many units on their path as possible. And here is the fight. So I told you, the worst case scenario is the fight ending up 50-50. I'm definitely not scared of the TC. We are in Castle Age. I have so many units with armor. I don't give a, about TC being here, especially because I have 2 tiers of this upgrade. So now there is the fight. If this fight ended up 50-50, I lost the army, he lost the army, but he was idle, yada. You can see, because how the fight went well for me, I can basically age up quite easily behind this in like 1.5 minutes. But because the fight went just too good to me, we will end the game here. 62 military pop caps survived, by the way, this fight. So it's like I've lost almost nothing, and we are inside of his base, right? And take a look at the resources. In 1.5 minutes, we have enough resources for the age up. Here I'm just spending, the extra wood I've accumulated over the time. And yeah, I could still get these berries, and bang, we are aging up like this. So yes, if you don't manage to find a winning condition by doing this, and you still feel you can do it, just go for the age up. Just go for the age up, and that's it. So this was the first example playing against player who played passively. We completely demolished him. Why? Because if you allow Ottoman to go on into this stage, military schools, landmark, basically free age up, vizier points. This vizier point with this timing push is very strong. We are smoking cigarette. We are in a good spot. And don't forget, this guy had goated map spawn. It could be way worse for him if I manage to find some damage with my Sipahi or early knights, but really difficult. Zeros here, gold, this is the second gold, and even here, third gold and the berry. So like in this corner, which is easily balled, he had everything. So yeah, this is the first game, and let's go with the second one. So the second game, opponent goes fast castle into knight. The most common one in the current meta, I would say. So many civilizations are doing it. Of course, it's a little bit different. If Japanese goes fast castle, you can expect a little bit different follow-up. In 99% of the cases, it's still the knights, but you know what comes later after that point, it's usually a little bit different. Then, for example, with the Iobits, right? Same goes with the Macedonians, but the first 10 to 15 minutes are still, in most of the cases, still the same. Fast castle, trying to get advantage from the civilization bonuses into knights, into trying to either kill opponent entirely if they are slow or if they didn't make correct counter units, or get map control and use the resources, use the relics, use the sacred sites to your advantage. Okay. Who is gonna be opponent this time? Creator. I don't know if you know this guy, right now he's only 1700, okay, but normally during his peaks you can see this season above 2000 elo here, even he ended up on rank 15, okay, and he had 2200 elo. Oh geez, his horrible run right now. Oh, poor creator. But yeah, definitely quite a decent player. So let's check out the game. So here we are in the game. The opening, I think this time I didn't do some sort of misclick. 2 villagers wood, 1 gold, 1 stone. Everything is the same. The bad news for you are it's played on this biome. I don't know who invented, who like was, oh shit, let's take a, you know, color of white and let's make it like it looks like somebody was vomiting there, and let's make it into the game. I hope that that guy was, you know, awarded accordingly. And it's on the Rocky River. If you're playing the Macedonians, one potential even the strongest fast casting Ziff right now in the game, depending on the map, I would say, but they have definitely very strong tools going for them. But yeah, let me speed up this part. I don't know if I realize it or not. No, I didn't. Okay, interesting. Yeah, just don't forget to add a military school, and so far we are chilling. The build order is still the same. You can see the split of the villages is still the same as we started the game. 2-1-1, and for a very long time, basically until the age up, still onto the foot. We are aging up with 5, and again, just don't forget the base layout. I cannot make landmark here, so let's make it here because I have military school there, another one will be here, and the buildings will be there. All the time I recommend you make buildings into the back of your base, your military production node into the back. Here again, it's quite good to scout your opponent. Here I have seen a hippodrome, so I know what is about to come. It's gonna get the free units. The moment of the age up, usually you want to make military school, blacksmith, and some sort of production, depending on what you need. I really like to make stables, even like 2 stables in some cases, plus the barracks, just to upgrade the spearman in most of the cases, because I really like to let the military schools print out spearmen for very long time. Of course, unless I'm playing English or some civilization who goes in most of the cases spearman archer combination. Here he just lost a horseman for free. Don't ask me. He wanted to try kill Will, didn't work for him, of course. So yeah, there it is. Here maybe, oh, it looks stupid, I know. If I was with you in a session, I would be like, why is the scout here? And you should tell, hey, Xardas, I know that I'm gonna have an outpost very soon here. Suddenly these villages are covered. Suddenly I have a vision there. So my only exposed villager right now is this guy on the stone. And I would be like, wow, good job. Because sometimes I see a scout being idled like this in your games, but there is no villager or nothing, like, you know, he's not like guarding anything, you know, so yeah. Okay. Here is just being a little bit annoying, and here you can already see that I did the, you see, the moment I finish the outpost, I'm trying to move the scout. Here I already did the shift of the velos to the gold. Again, there was like 1 or 2, and now there is 6, right? I still need some wood, you know, potentially for like, you know, maybe a wall here and for houses, for upgrades, right? But for the two stables and for the sipai. Most importantly, right now it's for the sipai. Now you can see I'm moving another two to the food, so I will leave only 4 right now on the wood. This outpost goated. This outpost is basically gonna save me a game. Why? You will see yourself. But I predict why I built it. I predicted him to go fast castle. So into Ridaris. So I knew that having a vision there and having a place where I can garrison the villagers will be very, very, very important. I would even say crucial. I really like that word. Yeah. As you can see, we are slowly shifting towards Castle Age, and I've left this one guy, you know, he's carrying the entire Ottoman nation on his shoulders on the stone. Why? Because again, you can use the stones for so many like good purposes. Two military schools quite soon, or at least one, that's minimum, and the additional stone either here once we are in Castle Age, or even here, right? The two Sipahi I produced, I try to get a value from them, and here I've got a scouting value. And now I was like, oh lord, I'm fucked. Probably. Because I still don't know how strong this is. But why he did this landmark and not the second one was because it can boost your production buildings as well. So now he used it on this building and he's making Ridaris in 14 seconds, which means, and I've realized it in the game, that very soon there will be shit of the Ridaris. For now, I didn't know if it's gonna be Varangian guards or Ridaris, because he saw the spearman, so I was like, maybe he wants to, like, you know, man-at-arm rush me, basically use this as some sort of Burgrave. I was like, okay, let's see. And here I see the Ridaris, so I know, okay, I have the spearman, so this should be good. But at the same time, the timing is quite scary. I'm just aging up, I have only spearman here, so I don't know. Let's see. Let's see, but again, long term, this landmark is definitely worse than the tower. So I was like, okay, if I manage to survive, again, I'm putting myself into better spot. So you can see the moment of the age up, bang, immediately this, and I would love to try to start spamming the knights, but of course I cannot because I was aging up with a lot of the wheels, and I've used the extra gold I mined over that time to get the spear upgrade, which is the priority for me right now because of the stuff which is about to come. But at the same time, again, I want to use the mobile part of the army because these two Sipahi, they wouldn't really help me that much against Ridaris. So I want to be like, okay, creator, you can be annoying here, but I can definitely do the same with only these 2 or 3 units. So let's go for it. Okay, and here, yeah, this is what I was talking about. For some reason, sometimes this happens. You can see only 4 are there. I don't know why. And here, I have learned myself that 5 Ridaris are better than 13 Spearmen. I know they are feudal age Spearmen, but still. Here I did quite good job, killing 2 villagers for free. Very, very good. In this crucial part of the game, when he needs the resources in order to, you know, be pumping out the Ridaris as fast as possible, right? So here's the fight. I was like, he really wants to take this fight, and I was like, he's crazy. And here I'm like, why the Ridaris are not dying, right? And I just got the Vizier Pod and I was wondering, like, what is happening? Am I losing this or like, what? And I've realized that I will really need this upgrade, this Vizier Point. Why? Because it's very, very strong if you are facing this sort of early aggression from the knights in general, or even from the men-at-arms or whatever. So I've got this Vizier Point, you can garrison the villagers, and it's, you know, it's dealing pretty decent damage. Even to the Castle Age Knights, because suddenly it's plus 3 damage versus armored targets, but still don't ignore this. Definitely the first tier, even the second tier is quite good to get. So here, this Vizier Point, not sure if it's like completely saved me, but it definitely helped me a lot. But again, this is just how AoE works. He did some sort of all-in, and I responded to this some sort of all-in, you know, with my way. Here, you might be like, but he's killing a lot of the wheels to, you know, here he killed like 4 villagers, maybe I killed 2, so he's like, you know, 2 villagers ahead. Let's go this way. 34, 37, 3 villagers ahead, okay. But at the same time, I was like, okay, for every single villager he killed, he lost like 2 Ridari. So it was like, and you know, the military schools are like untouched, of course, and they are printing out. So if the situation stays like this, I can start pumping out tonight. Maybe I can start killing his villagers in return as well. And you know, here we are. Finally, everything is pink. Everything looks good. Here the timing, I've realized, okay, to get this upgrade, it will be very, very important because he knows that I have this year point and he really would love to burn down this outpost. But if you have this upgrade, it's very, very difficult to burn down anything. And there is the scout, I think, somewhere. Or isn't? Okay, there is not. But potentially he can get the scout, which is even increasing the torch damage, right? But it's not just happening there. Here maybe I could get the Spring Guild emplacement upgrade. But I thought that after this experience, he's not gonna be there anytime soon again with the Redaris, because he knows that he's just being shit on by the outpost. And yes, spoiler, our evil return. Here again, the moment I've defended myself, I'm trying to go forward and trying to get a value from the units. And see all the mobile units heading north to get a value. Here I've noticed, yes, he's again trying to be annoying there, so I go back and I will just defend from these units. Luckily the TC is doing the work, it's shooting, and it's dealing a lot of the damage, as you can see. It's dealing like 50 damage from just one volley, so pretty good. Here again, I think I will go, yeah, no? Yeah, and he is again trying to be annoying on multiple places at the same time. Here he kills a villager, he loses a Ridari for it, you know, and basically it will be like this for some time. Yeah, just trying to be annoying. But here again, finally, I've made a new scout and I'm trying to get a value from the mobile units. Finally, I made a third military schools, and now let's try to do some damage in return. Maybe what was also a little bit mistake from me. I should have a Mector here just to buff the spearman in general, I think. And of course, the timing, as sometimes it is in the games like this, is pretty good because he was about to pick up the relics here at the bottom. But I've denied the relics. Here he's not paying attention for some moment. He again loses to Readers for free there. So that's pretty good. And, you know, I know it sounds like that I'm just surviving, but that's sometimes a life with Ottomans. And I'm quite happy. Why? Again, because military schools are printing. I know that he was some sort of all-inning because of the landmark, because of how many units he lost. So right now it's 36 military, for example, against 11. Of course, it's a Redaris and my are not like... But at the same time, I have 10 Lancers, so it's not that horrible, honestly. And now it's this part of the game where when it's about like relic hunt. Sometimes it can happen way earlier. You can see he's really trying just to be annoying still with the Redaris. And at the same time we are fighting over the relics. Yeah, here he just didn't pay attention and he lost like most of his units there. Again, he's on 9 Redaris. I'm on 45. I finished the wall here because the middle section is closed by the wood line, so I know that right now the entire bottom part of the map is basically, you know, solved for me. There is a wall, I have 2 good relics from there, I'm taking third one from here, and I'm on 3 relics, which is honestly quite good. Sometimes I prefer 3 relics over 4, so I don't have to make second monastery. Cake W. Yeah, and here again, you know, I finished the gold, so I'm just moving here. Why here and not here? Because I've realized if I make a outpost here, I will have a vision like over almost everything. I know that in the future I will make a wall here. And now what's important for me is to, because I've realized, yes, here's only Redaris and my army is very slow, you know. Not necessarily the knights, but if I want to go somewhere with my, like, you know, if I want to do some damage to him or take a big fight, I need to wait for slow units, right? I don't want to be fighting only with the knights. I even need to be fighting with the spring guards in order to get the best potential from from this unit composition. So I've decided to, because what's very frequently happening in such a games where you like the mobility and you know your opponent has the mobility. If your opponent sees you somewhere, your unit, he tries to go elsewhere, because it means that your economy, if units are there, it means economy here is exposed, right? And I'm kind of responding to this by making the outpost almost everywhere. Outpost here to guard 5 potential villages, and the remaining villages can run here. Outpost here, 5 villages on the berries, and yeah, now there is first outpost, and in the future I know I will make 2 additional ones, because I will be getting wood here and I will be getting the berries. I so many outposts because again, I have this upgrade, and I know that even without the emplacements, the outposts are actually very good. You can only get this upgrade, it doesn't even cost any gold, and suddenly he cannot even burn it easily. It really takes a lot of the time. And in the meantime, you can react to it by sending some units there, or just doing something in general. Here I have started to flow the gold. Why? Because free relics. And so I've decided to add 2 archer ranges to start producing janissaries. You can see the villagers plate now, for example, it's equally on the food and on the wood. Why? Because again, I'm using the wood actively, bang bang bang, all this stuff. And if I will be floating some of it, I know I can just make, you know, 3, 4, 5 farms at some point in the game. So still the food will not last until forever. I know there is still berries there and here, but that's it, right? And here it is. He realized, okay, he was there, so he went all around and he's attacking me from the bottom, right? He was like, oh shit, his army is elsewhere, so I can attack him. Well, not really, because I can garrison here, I can garrison 15 there, and at the same time, I can garrison some villages here, right? So I just garrison, I run away, and he cannot do anything. So we are chilling here. And at the same time, I know I will make in the future outpost here. Yes. So the villagers even at the top are guarded. And now I've started to add janissaries, and here I was like, maybe I should end the game again right now, because I saw his units and I was like, can I fight it or not? It was some archers, it was the Ridaris. No, the Ridaris are still very strong. So, you know, let's just get this Vizier pawn, let's wait for 10 additional janissaries, so the Ridaris are dying very fast. And then I will try to do a push. So here I'm like, you know, slowly walking. I know that I don't necessarily need to be in big hurry, because these villages are covered, these villages are covered, these ones as well. Potentially there is still the DC, so I have multiple spots to hide in. That's very important. If you have some extra stone, definitely worth it to get this. I've started to flow some gold, I see, I've noticed. I think I will get some blacksmith upgrades probably for it. I have most of them, okay. That's the power of free relics plus the sacred sites. I had them for a very long time. And here I've seen him here. And now you can make 2 decisions. You can return, or if you are this close to your opponent, you can push. Here I've decided to push him and see how he reacts, because I knew that I can save most of my economy by doing the garrisons or running away, but I was not sure that he can do the same. I knew that he has this landmark and not the horn tower, so I knew that it will be quite easy to penetrate into his base, right? There is no horn tower, there is no white tower, there is no Berkshire, there is no red palace or anything, so there is no keep, you know, so I can just move in, right? Paradoxically, you know, this is quite funny, because I was waiting for these. They are the 10 janissaries which I got from the military school. At the moment they were quite close to finally, you know, get the fight going. I turned them to go back and defend the base, because I saw it's on the Ridaris there, right? So here I've decided, okay, let's fight with these units, and at the same time let's use garrisons and some additional units at my base to help me with the defenses. So here I know, let me put it actually this way, because from replay it looks quite easy, but for example here there is I know there is very important fight happening, but I want to be sure that the villagers are safe. So here I'm managing the vills, running away, garrisoning, A moving the army, and here I'm finally back focused on my units. It's like, okay, what's happening there? And here again, back. And here I just want to really micro, what I really want to micro are the sprinkles. I see here I failed, kinda. Yeah, I know, because I'm not used to use the, how you should use the sprinkles. I honestly didn't have so many games where recently where I really use them. You want to kind of, you know, shift click them. So for example here, and then shift click onto this archer, and then for example shift click onto this archer. I'm not used to this. So yeah, it is what it is. And you still need to come closer, because if some of the units are out of the distance, that's what you see now. But it's similar, this move, as I basically told them to go here, right? Then I stop and I told them to attack here. Again, because they have certain range, they have range 7.5. If they are shooting at the unit, for example, at this one, and it's a 7.5 range, they are damaging all of these units as well. But if you tell the Springle to start shooting at this archer, and he just got into the range, and this archer is 7.5 tiles away, it's not damaging, it's not killing the archers behind it, right? It doesn't have any effect over 7.5 tiles range. So I need to come closer, I need to do the shoot, and basically repeat. Something similar as if you have range units, and instead of the range units shooting at the units, they are shooting at the buildings, like this one single janissary. But it's the only one. This is good. Sometimes I see people happening this to them when they have, like, you know, 30 crossbowmen, and then the crossbowmen in the crucial fight, they are there for nothing, right? So there is the fight. I've lost the janissaries, but at the same time he lost a lot of the redaries, and he lost a lot of the HPs on the redaries. So I was like, this is good, I guess, you know. At the same time, of course, the fight in his base didn't go so well for him. So yeah, here I see him making some sort of panic keep. I was like, okay, but your most important part of your base is here, so I don't mind if keep is there, but I kind of understand he couldn't like move the villages and make a keep here or here. He would lose all of them. Now his only hope are the returning Ridaris. He wanted to try to raid the gold during the way back, but I have noticed this, so I've garrisoned some villagers. You know, he splitted the Ridaris. Like 3 of them he sent them on the goal, and the remaining ones to go back to help with the fight, right? And here the same scenario. You can see I've remacroed again very heavily on the foot, because right now I know if I stay on the foot like this, I can age up in 1 minute into the Imperial Age. And what is the situation? 49 military, 7 military, and I can age up in 1 minute. Can he deal me with this sort of military advantage in my favor? Can he do some killing blow to me? Not here, like cutting me from gold, which is very crucial for me if I want to age up, you know, for all the upgrades, yada yada. Not here, potential here, but I can run away again. Not here, and definitely not here, right? Again, I don't have garrison space for all of them, but I would garrison 15 of them, and I would, you know, automatically start running away with these ones and potentially these ones as well. If he went, you know, like this and try to penetrate into my base. But still, I've, you know, the military operation is still going there, so I'm like, you know, chilling. Sipahi. Why Sipahi? Because I expected him to start making crossbowmen, honestly. I didn't expected him to start making archers only. But yeah, Sipahis are still not wrong, because they can tank shit of the damage from the archers too, so why not? And what's important is to have a Mector in such a fight, especially if they are buffing this amount of units. Is very good. I'm staying there. Why, you might be wondering, oh, why you are standing there? I'm idling half of his food economy, and in the meantime I'm very close to the actual age up, so I was like, yes, why not? Here maybe small mistake, maybe I could use this wood, you know, for something, but I'm not sure. You know, I have some military production, I have the military schools, and I was still not sure what I want to do the moment of the age up. Do I want to drop down siege workshop to make, you know, 2 Ribalde queens? If it's only like, you know, like still the Ridaris or some men at arms, or what is it gonna be? Or if it's after the age up, if I immediately want to drop down university. But here you can see I've spotted that I have over 1000. I was like, oh shit, yes, let me just, you know, make some farms. So I can make a use of that wood. Here I've destroyed the monastery. I try to young both relics. Sadly, he managed to snipe one monk, so I have to only one. This is why this is very good button, because then it means that you are almost all the time using your monks effectively. With Ottomans, you can get crazy value from it if you use this vizier point. Very often I do actually. It has AoE healing, so it's basically AoB Dervish. So even during the fights, you can be healing your entire army, which is goated. Yeah, and there is the age up. I've spent the wood, you can see, on the farms most importantly, because the moment you reach Imperial Age, or it can even happen in Castle Age, in Prolonged Castle Age it can happen quite easily as well. What becomes quite rare if it comes down to like mid-late to late game? Gold and gold units in general, right? Ottomans, they have goated passive gold generation in units. I did a quick math, and if you put this on Great Bombard, which you shoot in most of the cases, and the military schools on the Janissaries, you are getting 1000 gold per minute worth it of units, plus the relics. So you have like 1.2k gold possibly, either by getting the gold or the units, which normally would cost you the gold. So here, what do you want to do is some sort of switch this to the Janissaries, which I still can't, but I will be able to do so the moment of the age up. You get a lot of the experience, so I will get this and I will start produce Janissaries, and I will use the stables to start producing Sipahi. Just don't forget, because right now we are in Imperial Age, our economy is going, so you just want to make more stables. You know, I have this landmark here, it acts as a blacksmith, so there would be this buffing range as well. Or I have another blacksmith here, so I can make 4 additional staples pretty soon here. And then I would just be printing out Sipahi and I would be getting Janissaries for free. And this combination of Sipahi Janissaries, very, very, very strong. Because sometimes you are forced to add to something different, but in most of the cases, it just goated. The moment of the age up, what do you want to get? Definitely super worth it. This one, here I'm bringing the 1 extra relic home, so yeah. Here, and I'm making more just, to capture this. The moment of the age up, get this. Get this, you see, 30 seconds and cost is halved as well. This is very good as well, of course. So get this. And then, of course, if you have the Sipahi, which I do, this one goated as well. And if you have the resources for it, of course, biology for your Sipahi goated as well. Honestly, because you rely so much on Janissaries, this is not worth it. With most of the civilizations, because you are going crossbowmen or you have like the longbowmen, Byzantine's English, potential Wingard Rangers. This is very goated together with this, right? Of course, not this one for the crossbowmen, of course, but for the archers. But here, this should be priority, and then I would say this one and this one. Why? Because this is buffing your siege as well. Bonus damage of gunpowder siege weapons, and one of the bonus damage of great bombers is additional damage to infantry, so that's pretty decent. I think I've just forgot to switch to great bombard. What do I see here? But I've switched the military schools at least, so great success. But here I was, here I was just chilling because I knew the game is won. I've way better civilization into the late game, like miles better. There are very few civilizations who would be like on equal terms, who would be like, ooh, I'm in Imperial Age, you, I can Ottomans, you, I will finish them now. No, it's not like that way. Especially here, because I knew I idled this eco, I killed a lot of the whales, 76, 71, so I've even, if you have villager elite like Ottoman, you better throw your computer out of window if you don't have a lead against Ottomans. And I was like, if this is his entire army, I don't even need to wait, for the important upgrades to go through, and or to wait for bombers or something. I can just, end the game, because military 51 and he's on 29, right? So I was like, okay. I knew I was ahead, but I didn't realize I was this much ahead. Here I was still like, there is no way, like, there must be more units behind, or something. So I just waited for a little bit. Did I switch this? I didn't. Okay, interesting. Yeah, and I've used all the vizier points. Of course, sometimes if you feel like you really don't need this for like reaching the best late game potential, it's better to get this instead. It's very good with grain bombards or with the rebel queens that just goated for them. But yeah. There's just gonna be the fight and that's gonna be it. I really don't understand this Pax Automata. Some might say that it's good if you go to DCs, but the thing is here, even though I lost some wheels, I am on 80 already, and with the Ottomans, I don't see a reason to go over 110 villagers. So for example, even if I went, let's say, second TC, I didn't go this vizier point, and then I would be wondering in between getting this or getting this. I don't know. I think I would still like, decided to go with this one just to have better late game potential instead of getting, few villagers a little bit sooner. It's like going Palazzo Schwabia when you are on 100 villagers. It's like, yeah, and there is just gonna be the fight, and he just taps out because it is what it is. So this was just, defending the fast castle with the emplacements, with the spears, potentially with of course as the game progressed with the knights and then with the janissaries. Maybe what I could try to do was to get better value from the knights, which you usually can, but again, in this case, it was some sort of all-in from him, some sort of Burgrave, let's call it, like Ridari Burgrave, because of the increased production time. And every time I tried to get a value from them, I run into something. Once it was this Ridari, second one, for the second time, I had to return because I was scared of some big dive again. And for the third time, I met his monk, and afterwards, I was just defending the relics there with the knight. So it was really hard to penetrate into his base with the mobile units at this point. And of course, it's also because of the map. If it was Dry Arabia, I could choose different routes, different approaches to his base, but there are only two in this case, so it's a little bit more complicated. And now I will end the video here. I just want to finish something. Yeah, I want to finish this. I want to realize what I want to show you. Um, yeah, this is fast castling as well, basically, against Iobits. But this guy is goated. That's one of the best Iobits and Abbasid players in the game. This one, 950, 7 hours ago. No. Yeah, this one was definitely good as well. It was like fast castle into night as well, so we could include it in this like second like option as well. This second option. Uh, this one not. Yeah, so these two, they are basically fast casting as well. Again, of course, the IOBits is a little bit different because of the army compositions. What do we have here? Here, nothing. We covered everything there. And here, from these games, this is English. No. Is there some decent player here involved? Okay, nope. Was this guy? But again, Sengoku again, 1820. I mean, that guy is better. So we can go with that one. Okay, so here nobody, right? No. Okay, so this one. Yeah, here the radar is that would be very similar to what we already covered. But there was Dark Age aggression. Yes, that's it. That's it. Okay. Third Dark Age pressure or early aggro. That's gonna be the third, you know, the third option which you can basically face on the ladder. The most common one, this one really depends on the map and safe. If it's cliffside where you are, like very close to your opponent, of course, And especially people are picking English there. I hate to play Micah. I've started to leave the games very, very early against, or I'm leaving mirrors in general. Don't be surprised by this. Because against Micah, it's Indian server as well, and it's pure pain. And this one, yes, I will cover this one as well. It's 10-minute game, and I just did the transition so well into the cast stage that I defended some sort of his feudal in and managed to age up at the same time. So yeah, we will cover this. We will cover, and then we will cover this one and this one. Yeah, these three games and this one. Okay, so it's gonna be still 4 games. So I will probably make 3 parts. This will be the first part, and in the second part we will take a look at the Ayubit game here and the Sengoku game that was cast as well, and then we will take a look at these 2 games. One was early Dark Age Pressure into Ridaris, and second was like Aggression in Feudal. So yeah, this will be it. I will end the first part here. I hope you will enjoy the video and see you in the next part. Bye bye.